and welcome to Ark Survival Evolved. This is a new game that we're going to be trialling on the channel. It's probably one of my most played games. Certainly the most played game I have on Steam, with just getting close to 3,000 hours in this game. Got it a long time ago for £15 when it was in early access, and then to get 3,000 hours out of it, that's pretty good value for money in anybody's book. It's a survival sandbox game, but unlike Conan, where you tame and have human followers, in Ark you are alone in the world, but you can tame and ride dinosaurs. So let's get started. We're going to go for a local player game. Settings wise, I've cranked up the difficulty to max. By default it's at 0.2, which means you get lower level dinos, but we've just went all the way up. I've also just brought the XP down a little bit. They've changed it over time, and the XP you get playing the game, especially the early levels, comes really fast. So just to calm it down a bit, we're dropped that down a little bit. I've increased the taming speed because nobody wants to sit and watch somebody taming a dinosaur for 12 hours. And the harvest amount has been increased a little bit to make it a little less grindy for the videos. Okay, the centre section, we have the various maps, which are known as arcs. The original one is the island, which was the one that came out originally. These other ones are all pay for DLCs, and in each one it got progressively stranger with weird fantasy creatures instead of like the standard island with standard dinosaurs on it that the original one had. Down here you've got what's called the custom arcs. These were all mods by the community that eventually got brought in and made official maps. They don't have any of the story what the story arcs of the official ones do, but some of them are really good, some of them are really bad, but they are free. You can add a pile of mods. I've got some mods installed from various servers that I've played on. But for this playthrough we're going to go pure vanilla, and we're not going to have any mods. We might add them in later on, depending on how long the series goes for. Okay, so we're going to pick the island. I'm going to delete my previous save game, so we can start from scratch. Let's go. Okay, so here is the map, and we're going to pick the spawn point. So you always spawn around the coast, all the way around outside. It says here that the 3 south zones are easy, which zone 1 is down here. And if you've ever seen the original trailer for the game, that spawn point right on the end of that peninsula is what appears in that game. And funnily enough, the very first time I played this game, that's where I spawned, and my very first base was approximately here. South Zone 2 is over here. It's one of my favourite ones. South Zone 3 a bit further around the corner a bit. West Zone, bases there. 2 goes a bit further around. 3, I've had bases around here as well. Bases up here. East Zone down here. Up here, that's getting pretty close to the swamp these days. When the map came out originally, that wasn't a swamp, so that would be a pretty dangerous place to spawn in, I would say, these days. East Zone 3 a bit further north, and the further north you go, the more interesting creatures are going to be there with harder battles, and they will wander their way down to the beach, so you might get yourself in trouble. The north zone's up here. You've got the really nasty creatures, and then across the back here you're actually in the snow biome, so that's practically instant death in there, so I would keep well away from the north zone. We're going to spawn, for this instance, in South Zone 2. It's one of my favourite places. I've started here quite a few times. If there's enough interest, I can do another video with various good locations to do starter bases in all the different south, east and west zones. But let's just get started with creating a new character. So there's loads of things you can change about your character. It's all purely cosmetic, or you can randomize it and you can create some rather interesting looking people. You can also male and female. We are going to reset that default. We're just going to put everything in the middle. But the only thing we will do is I will just reduce the size of the hands a bit. There is a bit of an issue that you'll see later in the game, that if you put gloves on, part of your hand sticks out through the gloves, so making them a little bit smaller just helps that. Put our name in, and for some reason it's changed the spawn point, so we'll go back to spawn south 2, and we're going to create a new survivor. Okay, there's the intro animation that we'll see many times, because you see that every time that you die. And just have a quick look around to see how safe our location is. Thing going to get us? Nope, look okay. Okay, the first thing we'll go through is the interface. So down in the bottom right hand corner, you've got the plus sign is your health, the lightning is your stamina, which will obviously get depleted as you run around and do things, and you can slowly recharge your stamina by like slowly walking, or if you come to a complete standstill it'll recharge quicker. The little ham haunch type icon is your food level, the water droplet is your water level. This is like a grayed out like dumbbell, which is your weight stat, and as you pick stuff up that'll slowly increase. When it gets to sort of just below the handle there, it'll say you're encumbered and you'll start walking slower, and if it gets above that you'll not be able to move at all and you'll have to drop items in order to move again. You can see in the stats it was got a few other things like oxygen for breathing underwater, melee damage, obviously how much damage you're going to do, how fast you can run, and how well you can craft items. Fortitude is how well you'll be able to put up with the weather, and also your resistance to like being knocked out by poison. And torpidity is your consciousness, so as you get poisoned or hit by items that will increase, and when it gets to a certain level you'll pass out. And these are just a couple of skins, so let's just drop them because we start with inventory or nothing apart from our little implant that's in our hand that you saw in the animation. And under crafting, at level 1 we can craft a pickaxe, a torch and a note. So the first thing we want to do is craft a pickaxe. So it says you want a stone, a thatch, 10 thatch and 1 piece of wood. So single stones can be picked off the beach like that. What's that up there? It's a Triceratops. Okay, that's okay. And like every good survival game, you punch a tree. And we punch a tree until we've got enough thatch and wood. We can go into our crafting. It's now coloured in, and we can craft our first pickaxe. We also got enough XP to gain a level, so we'll put that at every level. You get to put a point in one of these stats to increase it, so we'll put that first one in health. And we get to this screen where you get your engram points, which is the points that you'll use to learn new recipes for crafting. So at level 2, the level 2 recipes became available to us, which is Campfire, Hatchet and Spear. We'll learn the hatchet, and we'll learn the spear to defend ourselves with, and as you can see we've only got 2 left, and it takes 3 to get a campfire, so that'll have to wait for the next level. Okay, so the next thing we want is our hatchet. That requires flint, thatch and wood, so we need to get flint. So to get flint, we'll take our pickaxe that we crafted in the last level, and we'll just hit some rocks, and you can see you got a bunch of flint from that. Back into here, we can now learn the hatchet. Put the hatchet in our slot. So now we've got the two main tools that we'll require for the rest of the game. And what those tools do, it will decide what items that you get. So from this tree, if we hit the tree with a pickaxe, we get mainly thatch with a little bit of wood. Hit it with a hatchet, it's mainly wood with a little bit of thatch. So depending on which material you want is the tool that you use. Same with the stone. So we saw that by hitting the stone with a pickaxe, we get mainly flint and a little bit of stone. Hit them with a hatchet, we get mainly stone with a little bit of flint. Okay. The next thing we want to craft is a spear, but a spear needs fibre. And fibre comes from plants, of which there are none on this little part of the island. So there's our first dinosaur that we've seen, which is a Triceratops. Triceratops are herbivores. What level was that? 76. We might be coming back for you later on. So as a herbivore, they don't care about you. They will quite happily let you mill about. However, if you hit them, they will fight back. And with those horns and that armoured head, they can do some pretty good damage. Oh, there's a dillo. Right, so we don't have a spear to fight it yet. These are a carnivore, so when they see you as food. So they will attack. And they are the spitting dinosaurs that you might recognise from Jurassic Park. That little flap of skin behind its head will puff out and it'll spit in our face and blind us, but we should be able to sidestep that. There he goes. So we sidestepped it. We're going to try and take him out with his axe. He's level 60, so we'll back away from him, hitting him so hopefully he can't get that much attacks on us. We're spitting again. Sidestep. Oh no! Oh no! We hit the trike by mistake, and the trike attacked us back and killed us. Okay, so we don't have a bed for a spawn point yet, so the only option we have is respawn at a random location. X marks as the spot of our death. So let's see which random spot we get put in this time. Practically exactly the same as the last time. That's a shame, because one of the spawn points is across the water where we actually need to be. So that green marker shows our death marker. And over there is our body, so we can go and pick up our stuff. We just have to keep... Oh, the dillo is dead, so the trike actually killed the dillo. So if we go in here, we can go take all. We don't need the old implant, so we can drop that. We've got our tools back. And we can harvest... Oh, there's another dillo. We can harvest this dillo, and it's, again, if we use the hatchet, we're going to get mainly hide with a little bit of meat. And if we use the pickaxe, we would get mainly meat with a little bit of hide. Right, we're going to have to try and take him out, because we need to cross the river to get to those plants across there. Alright, here he comes. What level are you? He's spitting, he's only level 4. So again, I'm going to back away. We'll try not to hit the trike this time. He's running. He knows he's almost dead. And he's dead. So we'll get the pickaxe and I'll show you it. 23 meat, 15 hide, so yeah, we've got more meat than hide. Right, now the difficult part. We have to get across the water, but in the water, okay, we look like we're okay here. There can be piranhas that will just rip us to shreds. Also in the sea, there is much more nasty creatures that are in the sea, like megalodons and such like, but they won't come into the shallow rivers. Okay, there's a Pteranodon. They will also are quite friendly with us, except if we attack it, it will fly away. It will flee. Right. So any of these plants will give us, so you can see down the side, a bunch of berries and some fibre. So we'll gather some of them. Right, then go into our crafting. Oh, I should say that when we respawned with this at the same level as we died at. So we keep all the items. We dropped all our gear, and you have to get back to your body to recover your items. However, we don't. It's not like Dark Souls or anything. You don't lose any XP, so you stay the same level, and you still have the same items that you'd learned before. So we're going to make. We can make 4 spears. We're going to make 4. We're making 4 because if I get the spear down, you can see the pickaxe and the hatchet have got a durability bar underneath them, and as you use them that'll slowly wear down until it breaks or you repair it. There's no durability bar with the spear. All that happens with that is you can stab with a spear and there is just a random chance that it will break. So you could hit a creature 100 times and it'll be fine, it won't ever break, or you could hit it once and it'll break on the first attempt. So we're just going to have a few of them in our inventory just in case in the middle of a fight one breaks, and then at least we've got a spare to carry on the fight with. Okay, so this is actually going to be the location of our first base. So underneath this 2 rocks that are in a big V shape, what we can end up doing is we can wall off this area eventually and use that as like a dino pen. So we're going to build our base just right here, or our starter base anyway. But before we do that, we're going to look, we've got 2 levels. So let's put them both in health. And we're now level 4, so we can learn a campfire. We can learn a couple of pieces of armor. In fact, let's just learn all the armor. And it doesn't quite leave us enough for the foundation. But hopefully, if we get some of that crafted. So, campfire first. It requires flint, stone, thatch and wood, but we've got enough of that, so we can craft that. And then we're going to craft some trousers, some cloth shirt, and a hat. And you can see those items, they only require fibre. Fibre. But the shoes need fibre and hide. So normally you would go and find a dodo or something simple to kill with your spear and you would get some hide. We've already killed a bunch of dillos, so we had a bunch of hide already, so we're good to go on the hide front. Right, we're going to put down the campfire. We're going to load it up with some meat and some wood, and we're going to light the fire, and that's going to cook. We're going to need a bit more wood to keep that going, so let's just grab some. We've got the red warning, we're encumbered and we can't move. So let's see what we can get rid of. So we're going to, for a start, we're going to put on our armor. This gives a tiny little bit of armor. It also gives us some protection from the elements as well. Berries could be a starting bit of food. The red, yellow and blue berries are purely just food. We'll use them for different recipes later on. Purple berries we're going to use for taming creatures. That's the herbivores, that's their sort of favourite berry for taming. Narco berries, the blackberries, they will actually put you to sleep. So we're going to keep a hold of them because we'll be using that as well. And stim berries are the opposite of narco. They increase your stamina and wake you up. We're not going to be using them at the moment, so we'll drop them. We'll drop these coloured berries. Can we move yet? 91, but we can move slowly. It's enough to move. So we've got another level up. Let's put another point in weight. And we'll use that to craft a storage box. So we can start storing some stuff instead of carrying it everywhere. Right, let's put a bit more wood in the fire, and we're going to take down some steak that's cooked. See the wood has burned into charcoal. We'll use that charcoal later on as well. Right, if you keep an eye on our little ham down in the bottom right hand corner, so that it's down to like just below the bone, we'll eat one bit of meat and up it goes to full again. Okay, now we need to make that box, which is fibre, thatch and wood. We've got enough for that, so let's get that made. That seed as well. There's the box. If I just press E on it, and we can just stick it down there. So we're going to put the heavy stuff that we don't quite need at the moment in. Hey, we've got to hold on to that, we've got to hold on to that. And we can put that in there. So we're going to need fibre, thatch and wood for crafting with, so we'll keep that. And I'm going to put that meat in there. I'm going to cook all the meat we've got. What do I see over there? Right, and you can see that little dino that's just going about over there. Just on that one there. That's a Pegomastix. They are incredibly annoying. What's seen us? So quickly put our... not quickly enough. It stole our wood. Right, so we can chase after it. Oh no, there's an Ichthyornis as well. They're also thieves. So we keep away from that. Where did it go? It's running into the water. Okay, so we weren't quite quick enough there. If we'd put our taming berries in the last slot, it'll always steal something from that last slot if it's there. And if we put the taming berries in, that will actually tame it. But we weren't quite quick enough, so it stole our wood and ran away with it. It may come back, so we'll just have to keep an eye out. So we're going to need some more wood. And we'll need some more thatch. There's our level up. Keep an eye out. Alright, so we're going to put that in weight as well, because now that we're crafting stuff, we're going to have to start gathering quite a lot. So we need a foundation, some walls, and a door frame. Well, we could do with a sleeping bag, but we're short of points. Never mind. Alright. So we've got a bunch of fibre. Let's put our berries that we want to keep in here, and we'll drop the other berries. So we've got a bunch of thatch, we've got some wood, and we've got some. So we can craft our first base item, which is a foundation. How many can we make? We can make 9. Let's make them all. And we'll put them down on our hotbar. And press 5. So you can move it around wherever you want it to be. Here we are, we'll put it here, we'll stick it about there. And then the rest of them will then snap to that. So I overlaid them over the top, which destroyed the one that was underneath it, which is a bit of a waste of resources, but hey ho. Right, so I want another 3. Can we make 1? What are we short of? Fibre. Fibre is from plants. What level are you? 44 parasaur. So, although I've created the maximum level for this map as standard is 120, going up in increments of 4. All the other maps are max level of 150, going up in increments of 5. There are changes you can make to the config files to allow you to get 150 dinos on this level, but it's kind of irrelevant because whatever dino, if you're riding a max level dino, fighting a max level dino, it doesn't really matter what the numbers are. Okay, it'll do more damage, but the guys that you're fighting will have more health anyway. Right, so we'll gather away here. We've only got our hands to gather fibre at the moment. Later on we'll be able to make a sickle, and then eventually we'll be able to get, there's a couple of dinos that can gather thatch for you much more efficiently. Right, we've got some seeds as well. We won't need them yet, but that allows you to grow the various berries, which we'll do later on, but again at the moment. Okay, let's put those narco berries over here. So food and water's okay. Right, so you can see in slot 5 that it's got a greyed out foundation because I've used all my foundations. But if I now press 5 and I have the item that I require to craft it in my inventory, it'll craft it for me automatically. So, oh, you're joking, that's too high up. So so there's this little dip there, and with the standard, can I pick this up? No. With the standard build set, you can't place it if the gap is too big. That's a shame. Okay, we're going to have to make that a little porch, and we will get some more thatch and just increase it the other side instead. Might not actually fit here because I can see it dipping away here as well. Okay, it's floating above the ground. No, that fitted in. Okay. Right, so now we need our door frame. And we'll put our door frame here, and we'll make that our porch. Okay. And we need a bunch of walls. We can only craft 3. What are we short of? It's going to be wood. Walk a bit slower while you're crafting a whole wall in your inventory at the same time. Oh, 21. Oh, I don't want 21. Let's craft 12. See how that goes. Working very slowly. Right, and now we can stick them down in the hotbar. There's 5. One wall. So the different crafting sets, you start off with thatch, which is very basic building material. It's got a hit point of 1,600 per item. A little bit later on you'll be able to upgrade to wood, which will have a bit more hit points and protects you a bit more from other dinosaurs attacking you. Then a bit further on from that you'll have stone buildings, and very few dinosaurs can break in through a stone building. It's like the alpha version dinosaurs and the Giganotosauruses are one of the few creatures that can actually break a stone building. Right, I'm going to fix this. Right, it'll have to be. Right, I'll just put a slope wall here, and I'll put one. There. Okay, right, so we need level up again, get some more Ingram points. So again, we'll put that in weight. We need slope left, slope right. And let's get started on the mortar pestle. Oh, we don't quite have enough for narcotic. Damn it! But we do have enough for a slope. No, we have enough for a ceiling. Okay. That'll have to do then. Right, so let's get our sloped walls done. So we'll need 2 of them and 2 of them. So that goes there and there. And that one goes there and there. And then we need, how many have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we don't have enough thatch again. So let's stick that one up and then go and get some more thatch. Watching for anything nasty about. What parasaur? So some of the AI of the dinos is pretty poor. So this parasaur is just stuck walking into a tree for some reason. Then we'll just leave it there. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4 more ceilings. Ah, this is going to be a problem. That's too high to get in. Can we make any sort of ramp yet? Roof. No, we can't. Oh, okay, so we're going to have to break a hole here and put another door here. I should have put it here in the middle, that would have made more sense. Right, so we need another door frame and another wall to replace the one that I broke by mistake. Door frame, yeah. Wall there. Right, I can get in now. 5, 2, 3. Okay. Alright, and now we need a bunch of sloped walls, which we haven't learned yet, and we don't have enough Ingram points for. Okay, right, so, oh, we've got level up though. So let's put another one in weight. And now we have enough to get sloped thatch roof and narcotic, which will help this big style. So let's get the narcotic first. So to make that we need 15 hide and 65 stone, which may be in our little storage box here. Not enough stone, but we've got enough hide, so let's put all this in there. And we'll take that and that. And now we need to get some stone. That's a bit of a shame that our door is too high, we can't reach, but as soon as we get to the wood level, which isn't that far, we'll be able to make a ramp or stairs to get up that door. Let's go in and go V, make. Right, and we'll place that down there. So a little mortar and pestle, and if we look in there, we can see all the things we can craft in here. If it's got a yellow border around it, that means you haven't learned how to craft it yet. But under consumable drugs, this one doesn't have a yellow border because we've learned it, and it is our narcotic, which requires 5 of those black narco berries and 1 spoiled meat per item. This is stimulant, so that's narcotic for, again, same as narco berries, putting things to sleep. That's stimulant for waking things up, bug repellent, and we've got antidote for diseases for later in the game. Right, what have we got in the way of berries? Right, so of this raw meat that I left in there, 2 of them have spoiled so far, so we've got 2 spoiled meat. What about in our campfire? There's another 2, and there's some more raw meat. We'll take that there. Just leave that as it is there. So if we go in here, so you can see that the narcotic is a food item, a consumable food item, so therefore has a spoil timer. So it's 8 minutes 50 seconds and counting down. And when that happens, so of this stack of 75, 1 item will spoil and then you'll be left with 74. Meat is the same. So we've got 19 raw meat there with a spoil timer of 7 minutes 50. And when that line goes to the bottom and gets to 0, 1 of that will spoil, which will create spoiled meat, and we'll have 18 left. So we're going to put the spoiled meat in here because we need 5 of these and 1 of them to make 1 narcotic. So we'll make all of them. What you can see is, although that took 5 of them, this isn't got a spoil timer that'll last forever. So the berries won't spoil if you turn them into narcotic, but also 1 narcotic is considerably more potent than 5 individual berries, so this becomes very useful for knocking out dinos for taming later on. But what we're going to need is we're going to need a lot of berries and a lot of spoiled meat. So one of the tricks of getting spoiled meat is, instead of letting this go one at a time, is if you right click on it and go split stack all, you get a stack of 19 individual meats, all with their same spoil timer. So in 6.5 minutes, all of those will spoil at once instead of just 1. And we'll get a bunch of spoiled meat, which will be very useful for us. Right, so while that's going, because that also gives us excellent XP, so while that's running, we can carry on with our base building. So we're going to grab, so we're going to put back the items we don't need, and we're going to grab the items that we do. And we're going to make, we're going to need 9 sloped roofs. Or ceilings, whatever it is. Sloped thatched roof it is. So we need 9 of them. You can see there when we right clicked on it, you get the option of crafting 1, crafting all, and then it tells you the number that it will craft based on how much materials you have, or you can put in a number that you want specifically. So we'll get them and start putting a roof in. See, our food's gone down to just about half, so I'm going to eat another piece of meat. And up it goes. And 5. There, there, and 1 more. Oh, I've crafted too many. I've got 1 extra. So what I'll do is I'll just place it down here, and then you can click on it and go demolish, and you get a little bit of materials back. Okay, right, we've got the basic outline of our house built now. So what we need to do now is we need to move our storage inside. Unfortunately, in the vanilla game, you cannot pick up storage boxes. You can pick up items, I think it's within the first 30 seconds, maybe 60 seconds after you've placed them down. But after that, it's there forever, and the only thing you can do is demolish it. So we're going to have to craft a new one. We've got enough to craft 2. I'll do this for the moment. And we'll stick our storage in this corner here, I think. E. And we'll tuck it in the corner. about there. And then we'll put another one there. Okay, right, now we can go and get the items out of here. Take all them and demolish that box because we're not going to use that anymore. And we're going to put a Pegomastix is back. Right, so we're going to put all the building materials in that first one, I think. And we'll put the other items in here. Right, and now I'm going to craft another one of them. Right, we're going to go out and we're going to tame a Pegomastix. Where is it? There it is. So it jumped at us, it stole all the measure berries out of our 0 slot, which tamed it. So I'm not a big fan of these things, apart from anything, they're really ugly. But one thing you can do is you can pick them up and have them on your shoulder. And you can use them in PvP for like raiding people's bases. You can throw them through the window to go and steal stuff for you and stuff like that. But one of the things you can do with them is if you have to put them down, you can put items in their inventory and it's got a weight reduction. So that weight's 6.3 in there. Oh, okay. Maybe. Certainly berries doesn't. Okay, well, never mind. Let's go on this. Let's just take them in here, stick them down, and we'll tell them to behavior disable following. So just sit there. Okay, next thing. Oh, got another weight. Let's see, so let's get more health. The next thing we need is to reset our spawn point. So we can do that with either a sleeping bag or a bed. A sleeping bag is a one-use item, so if you die and spawn at the bag disappears. But you have the advantage of putting that down if you're going into dangerous territory and you can pick it back up again. Whereas a bed will stay forever, and also if you're in a clan, everybody in the clan or tribe, is it tribe in this game? Tribe, yeah. They can all use that bed, whereas only the one player can use a sleeping bag. So we want to make the bed. In order to make the bed, you have to learn the bag first. So there we go. And the bed requires 30 fibre, hide, thatch and wood. Okay. So we'll take some hide. We'll take some of that, some of that, some of that. That's enough to make the bed. And it's getting rather dark. And we'll put the bed in this corner here. Can we put it this way? There we go. Okay, and of course it's now turned night time, so we can't see anything. So what we really need is to make a torch. So we need some flint and stone. Flint, stone, craft, torch. How long's that got to go? 5 seconds. Okay. 0. Boom. So 19 stacks all did at the same time. So 0. There we go. Got our torch up. Go into here. Put that in there. We can craft. We've got enough berries to craft 10. But okay, that's going to do it for today. So this is our first foray into the island map of Ark Survival Evolved. We've survived enough to get us to our location of our first base. We've built a bit of a ramshackle thatch hut that will start us off with, and we've got a little bit of cloth armour and some basic tools and weapons to get us started. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please come along to the next one and I'll see you then. Bye then.